Welcome to the free Medspa Accelerator course. Now, within this course, I'm going to be giving away everything that you need to launch, scale, and manage client acquisition systems that will bring you 5 to 15 new patients all online completely for free. It includes a community, a course, and free weekly Q&A calls, so you can go ahead and take action on everything that I'm giving you and never have to hire a marketing agency again. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run through everything, and I'm excited to help you grow your med spa to the next level. So how can you grow your med spa in 2024? My goal in this video is to really just pull back the curtains on the things that I've found work for the clinics that I've worked with, so you can go ahead and implement them and make sure that you hit your revenue goals in 2024 and supersede them if anything, okay? So just to break down everything that we're going to cover within this video, we're going to go over the 7-figure med spa foundations. We're going to go over something that I like to call the patient reactivation. We're going to go over the paid appointment machine, organic attraction, and consultation closing. These are the 5 pillars that any med spa can use to scale to 7 figures. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, why should you even listen to this random British guy who's on your screen telling you that he is the one that can help you grow your med spa in 2024 and he has all the secret sauce, right? Now, first off, just for a little bit of background, I currently run a 7-figure clinic accelerator company helping medical spas scale up their patient acquisition. I've helped overall over 260 different med spas in the US, in Canada, in the UK, and in the last year alone, I partnered with 115 new med spas with 2 of the biggest med spa franchises on the planet, and we spent in the last year over $1.5 million on ads. As well as that, our top 8 clinic partners scaled up from under 20k a month all the way up to 130k a month in just 1 year, right? And on top of that as well, here's a couple of examples of people I've worked with, such as Dr. Kimberly, Sydney, Deanna, Dr. Gray, Sarah. All of these different people we've helped scale their clinics through patient acquisition, getting clients online, teaching them how to retain them, and closing them in their consultations. And a quick side note as well, I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I made over $500,000 with the exact systems I'm going to be uncovering here before I was even 18 years old. So with that in mind, if before I was 18, I could use these systems to generate $500,000 for myself and millions of dollars for the clinics we work with, and I did that with 0 experience in the medical spa industry, I'm pretty confident you, as a medical spa owner with skills, knowing you can help these people, can do the same, right? Now, before we go ahead and get into all of the tangible stuff where I break down the systems and things that you need to set up, and this is more than just a video breaking down how you can grow your medical spa in 2024. What I've gone ahead and done is me and my team have set up a community where you and other people can share what's working right now to attract and retain high-value clients. Now, I really do encourage you to lean on the community, not only just watch this video, but join in and accelerate your growth by partnering with other people. You're going to have access to other medical spas that are generating over $100,000 every month with systems like these, so use it to your advantage. My goal, again, is to just give you everything so you don't need to pay another marketing agency. And why learn everything from scratch and make a ton of mistakes when you can literally learn from somebody who already has? So I really encourage you, pause the video, go to the link in the description of this video, and it will take you to our community. Now, what that community will look like is the following. There'll be a welcome post that will explain what to do when you start. You can see, for example, Oana, who's one of our clinic partners, said, your team is amazing. You have the community where you can communicate. You have the classroom where we have a full free course breaking down everything we're going over here in detail, such as the mindset, creating your offers, generating patients, making sales. Anyway, just watch the video and it'll explain it. And not only that, we have 4 coaching calls a week in our paid community, and you can look into a little bit more about what those look like too, such as our call every Tuesday with Mallory, who is an 100k a month med spa owner. Okay. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know about that before we dive into all of the tangible things that we can start setting up for you. The next question you probably have is, Cameron, okay, most agencies charge like $2,000 a month to run their ads and have an automated system follow up with their leads. Why are you giving it all away for free? Now, the goal here is to make patient acquisition easy for medical spas, and it always has been. So they never have to gamble their money on another marketing agency again. I understand, working and partnering with so many med spas, the struggle of jumping from agency to agency to agency as a med spa owner, and kind of just being stuck on what to try next. Because I know so many clinics that have tried like 4 or 5 different agencies that have just brought them crappy leads. Everybody's full of empty promises, and most of the time they're just trying to take your money on their 3-month program up front, and then you can't really get out of the contract because you're tied in, right? And if you're wondering why for free, 2 main reasons. 1, the thought of helping someone get 1 step closer to freedom is exciting for me, and I truly mean that. And if I can do that for free with people that may not be able to afford to invest in our higher ticket program, then great. And at the same time, I know that if I help you solve your first problem here, maybe we help you go from 2K a month to 10K a month, chances are you'll come to me when you have other problems to solve. And what I mean by other problems to solve is, let's say you like this guide, you join our free community and you want to work with us more on a one-on-one basis. Awesome. We have a private mastermind with 6 to 7 figure medical spa owners where we help them build, manage and scale their patient acquisition systems, all one-on-one in a one-on-one setting. So it's a way more personalized approach, and it basically allows you to delegate everything off to us who are doing it for a bunch of different med spas. And if you want to skip straight to that point, awesome. You can go ahead and book a call with me in the link in the description. Okay? So now, final tips. Don't skip anything in this video because you're only going to be cheating yourself. I really just want to pull back the curtains and give you everything that you need to grow. And a pro tip is watch the video on 1.5 or 2 times speed. I don't want you to, and I'll speak quite fast, so if you don't feel that's necessary, no problem, but I would recommend it just so you can get through everything. So the first thing I want to run through is the first module is the 7-figure foundations. Now, after working with hundreds of different medical spas, I noticed a few differences between the ones that build a business they love and the ones that are stuck below $10,000 a month that struggle to break even or for years on end. And it was their ability to take relentless action and focus on the things that actually move the money needle. That was the only distinct difference. And the clinics I spoke to, which by the way I still speak to now on a daily basis, that convinced themselves they could grow month over month, go from 5, 10, 15, 20K a month with just referrals, were usually the exact same people who would reach out a year later and be in the exact same position. So many clinic owners get brainwashed into believing that they can use Groupon, they can use word of mouth, they can just rely on Instagram DMs to get new clients on a consistent basis, when reality is you might have one good month, but then it'll fall back the next month. It is not predictable and sustainable. And if you're one of those clinic owners that can't break past 10K a month, there's only 2 things you should be focusing on, ever, until you get to at least 100K. And I put that into this 4-letter abbreviation, which I like to call SACA. I've told so many clinic owners about this abbreviation in our private mastermind, and it's changed their lives. Purely because they get so tied up in all of the distractions, the logos, the branding, the new machines, when all they need to do is set appointments and close appointments. That is really it. Set appointments and close appointments. Because setting appointments is literally the bloodline of your business. Like, imagine if you invested in all these great machines. You had the best estheticians in the world. You had the best upsell strategy. You had the best clinic that was just stunning, but you had no appointments. Would mean nothing, right? So setting appointments is the oxygen, or quite literally the bloodline to your business. Because if there's no appointments, it doesn't matter if you can close them or not, or what machines you have, or what your staff do. And what so many med spas do is they think the more channels they get appointments from, the better. They think they need to post organically. They also need to run paid ads. They also need to do SEO and Google, and they need to do branding, and they need to bring an influencer in, when in reality it's the polar opposite. Because energy flows where focus goes. And I've seen it myself with med spa owners that are trying to do everything at once. They're trying to wear all the hats. They're trying to do all the marketing. They're running 3 different businesses. It would be better for you to distribute all of your energy every single day into one goal, right? Because person A, who runs paid ads to get clients and also is trying to partner with an influencer and is also posting organically every single day and also owns a side business as a realtor is going to have much less success than person B who distributes all of that energy into one direct goal. Okay? So this is where you want to be. You want to be person B who focuses on the core principles, who has one business, and who removes everything that takes them off course from success. Okay? Because a jack of all trades is a master of none. And by trying to distribute your acquisition channels in too many directions right out the gate, you're going to put yourself on an uphill battle and it's never going to work, right? Simplicity scales and fancy fails. I'll give you an example. If you've ever heard of Skin Laundry, they only offer facials, laser facials. They're a multi-million-dollar company that has clinics all across the world, right? They have one offer on the front end to get people in, which is like a $79 laser facial. And they have 3 membership plans when people come through the door. They keep it simple and they scale. So many clinics overcomplicate things and think they need 100 machines in order to grow effectively. It's not the case. So you're probably asking yourself at this point, what are the main channels that you should be focusing on to get new patient appointments on your books, right? Because we do definitely need to get new clients on your books because we've already identified the fact that word of mouth, referrals, Groupon, it's not consistent enough. And even if Groupon was consistent, they take like 50% of your margin and the clients coming in are the wrong type of clients. After testing every channel that you can ever think of, partnerships, inbound DMs, Groupon, leaflets, billboards, these are the 3 channels that are going to bring you the greatest ROI in the smallest period of time. And they work together. It's the holy trifecta, as I like to call it. Number 1 is patient reactivation. And this is the easiest way to get clients in and make money. This is reaching out to your old client list to get them back through the door. This method allows us to increase your patient lifetime value and bring more cash flow through the door without spending a dime on ads. And we're going to go over this in detail shortly. Appointment setting channel 2 is paid ads. Now, this is a paid system that allows us not only to reach our old clients and get them back through the door, but reach new patients in your area by building and promoting an irresistible treatment offer. Paid ads over time will allow us to build a machine that we can literally put $1 in and get $5 out. And it can print you money if you're willing to stick with the process. And then finally, organic content. Now, posting organic content on social media to position you as the authority, provide value, and over time have people coming to you ready to buy your high-ticket services. I like to see organic content like planting a tree. Right? It's not something that you're going to get instantly. You're not going to see the reward from it. It's a very slow process, but it can transcend into something that's going to change your life if you stick with it long term. Okay? Because what it'll allow you to do is you no longer need to offer discounts. All of the clients come directly to you. And at the same time, you can charge high ticket and you'll be in a category of 1. Right? So now you understand the 3 appointment setting channels. And just for context, these 3 channels I just mentioned are the exact ones used when you pay a marketing agency thousands to replicate the system in 5 minutes. And what I mean by that is a lot of these marketing agencies have a cookie cutter approach to building out those 3 prospecting channels. Most of them only just run paid ads. So you pay a marketing agency $2,000 a month to run paid ads for you. And by the way, it's all the same templates. Everybody's running the same ads. So the leads that you get from it are low quality anyway, because they see these discounts all the time, right? Now, before we go down into breaking each appointment setting channel in detail, the first thing we need you to do is create your offers. Now, if you're just watching this and you want to analyze and then you want to take action, that's completely fine too. But this is the perfect time right now to join our community and go through our Create Your Offers module and come back to the video once done. Okay? Within the classroom, I've compiled 3 different videos. You've got an introduction to the different types of offers you need to create within your Medspa. You've got proven introductory offers you can run. You've got proven package offers you run, as well as templates that you can use and print out in clinic. I encourage you to go through it. It's really going to help you. And then we can move on to actually setting up these channels, because otherwise you might be a little bit confused. So pause the video, go and set up your offers, and then come back. Okay? And don't just keep going if you haven't done this. You're watching this because you truly want to grow your Medspa. And if that's the case, then get it done. Okay? So you've done it? Cool. Okay. And then we can transcend into the next thing. The first system that we want to build out once your offers are set up is patient reactivation. Now, you might be wondering, my face is getting in the way. I'm just going to click X off it because it's getting annoying. Now, what is patient reactivation? Right now, the easiest, fastest, and cheapest way of you making more money in your medical spa is by squeezing the juice out of your existing client list, okay? So many medical spa owners are afraid of this idea of pissing people off, right? They think if they reach back out to old clients, it's going to frustrate them, it's going to hurt their reputation. But I can tell you from experience that the biggest clinic franchises we work with that turn over millions of dollars every single month, they literally send new promotions to their database weekly. And a huge shift that you need to have if you see it as a bad thing to reach out to old or existing clients is if somebody has already drove to your clinic and paid you their hard-earned money, they are by definition the best and easiest person to sell on more treatment because they already know, like, and trust you, right? When you run paid ads or when you get new clients, they're cold leads, which means they're going to be harder to sell and you're going to need to get them in on an introductory offer that you might not make a lot of money on to start. And the great thing about bringing these people back in is it pretty much costs you nothing. It allows you to sell a higher ticket offer because they already trust you as well, right? So there is endless benefits and there is zero downside. And a lot of these people will actually appreciate you reaching back out and seeing if you can potentially help them with the new treatments you offer, right? So the first acquisition system you will want to build out is the patient reactivation. Now, just for context, we use a CRM software called Go High Level in order to reach out to your database and keep track of where they're at in the sales process. I've gone ahead and left a link below. I'm actually an affiliate partner from Go High Level just because we spent so much money with them and we've got such great results. I've actually got a 30-day free trial link. So if you want to try this for a free month, go ahead and click the link below if you want to set this up. Now, what is patient reactivation? It's pretty simple. It's a bulk, outbound text or email campaign sent out to your marketing list and database. Good thing is it's 100% free besides maybe $30 to $40 of SMS costs, as we truly only utilize your existing lead list or client base and we have a system ready to go. And I'll give you an example of, the most common clinic that I might speak to and we set this up for. Maybe they'll have a list of 3,000 phone numbers, names and emails from leads from when they've run ads before and old customers and things like that. We just send out one simple text or email with an offer and we have an autoresponder on asking the leads if they're interested. And what that means is maybe we'll send them a text and we'll say, just reply with yes if you're interested. And if they reply yes, we have an automated text that sends them all the info and gets them to book in. Okay? The example average results would be around 3% of the list signing up for the offer and booking an appointment. And that's literally 90 patient appointments on the books, completely free, just by getting your existing client base and reaching back out to them. And the reason this works so well on top of running paid ads as well is it's 100% free and it pretty much is guaranteed to get you great results. It gets results and money in the bank for you in the first week of setting this up, which means, let's say you invest in our program and you get this rolling, you're going to make so much money on the front end, you just cover your costs right out the gate and you can just put it into ad spend. This is why we start with patient reactivation, because if we can make you 5, 10, 15, 20K, you can just get that money and put it into ads, right? The main thing is that you'll get amazing database reactivation results just by simply having a really strong offer. And the offer foundation modules, which I've just explained to you in the free community, will go over all of that. And you can run this campaign regardless of if you only have a list of 50 clients or have thousands. Obviously, the more you have, the better, but still do it anyway. Don't feel like if you're a start out that you can't do this. Now, just for context, it would probably take me forever to get into all the setup details of how to get this launched. But the main thing you need to know is you need a compelling package offer, which we literally guide you through how to set up within the community course, the Medspa Mini Accelerator. And you need a straight to the point auto response message. And I'll give you an example here just so you can copy me, because I just want to give you everything you need. We do this through setting up, for example, automations on Go High Level to automatically reach out, respond, and follow up with interested clients. This is an example one that we would run. Hey Lisa, this is Lucy at the Bride Medical Spa. We just launched an exciting new trim tummy transformation program, and to celebrate, we're giving a few people a free consultation and 30% off our treatment plans. If you reply with yes, our system will send you all the info about our program. Or if you have a question, feel free to shoot me a reply. This is actually a real person, so I'll get back to you, lol. Okay? super straight to the point super straight to the point text. And if they respond with yes, we have an autoresponder that sends this huge message. Now, I'm not going to read it, but you can go ahead and pause the video, read it, and it's basically just explaining the details of the package and how it can help them and the benefits. Not only that, we always end this type of message with, would you be open for a quick call today or in the next few days to see if this package is right for you? Name. Okay? And just a quick side note that if you do want assistance building this out, you can book a call with me in the description to chat about how it can help. And no, just for context, it's not free. I'm going to be real with you. I'm giving you everything that you need to set this up, but if you want our team to do it, I'd be more than happy to help you out. Okay? So that compiles the patient reactivation setup. Okay? That's the first system that we always want to build out for the clinic partners that we work with. Once we've got a predictable ROI from a system like that, we would just take the money we make and put it into the paid appointment machine. Now, what is the paid appointment machine? And why do we even run paid ads in the first place, right? This is the most predictable way of you getting consistent new client flow in 2024. Because the days of handing out leaflets, boosting posts on Instagram, and even just crossing your fingers, hoping people DM you from the before and after as you posted are over. You need consistency. And so many med spas have this problem. And so little med spas I speak to can confidently say, I know for a fact we're going to get 5 to 15 new clients this week and we're going to close 60% of them, right? And that is what you need to grow. And if I said to you, for an example right now, give me $1 and in 7 days I'll give you $5 back, you'd probably give me a shit ton of money, right? And that's exactly what you can achieve with paid ads. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be instant. It does definitely take time to get there, but you can shortcut that process if you follow a proven system. Then that way it's pretty easy to crack paid ads because you're just copying what works. For example, you try to run paid ads yourself and trying to find out what works. It's going to take a lot longer than you following a proven system that somebody else has. Now, what we do in this case when we run our paid ads is we run lead generation ads to generate people's phone numbers, names, and emails. The reason we do this is because if that person doesn't book right away, it allows us to have their information to follow up with them later down the line. People underestimate, and especially clinic owners, they underestimate and they don't like following up with clients. But I can tell you with confidence, 85 to 90% of people who opt in to learn more about your offer and what you guys do will not be in the buying window right now. But if we follow up with them in 4 weeks and they are, who do you think they're going to come to, right? We spent over, as I said at the start, $1.5 million on paid ads in the last 12 months, only to realize that all of the fancy strategies with the fancy targeting and the income-based targeting, it's all BS. The best ads are truly the ones that are broad, that have a compelling offer, and that speak to the ideal patient and resonate with them deeply, okay? And I know you've probably seen medical spas in your local area running paid ads to get new clients. It's very, very common now because there's so many marketing agencies trying to sell med spas on marketing, trying to sell med spas on Facebook ads. But the only problem is everybody's running the same copy and paste ads and offers as everybody else, leaving them to compete only on price. Now, our goal when you run your ads is to build your brand, combine it with personalized paid ads so that you're in a blue ocean and nobody can compete. So when you build out your paid ads, it's very important that you have an offer like this to get people in, which I break down in the introductory offers module in the free community. But do not get tricked by running the same stock image ads that everybody else does. Position yourself as the authority so you don't just have to compete on price, because it's a losing battle if you're competing on the cheapest discount. Have videos of you and your team providing value, okay? Because the paid ads concept is literally the secret to scaling to 7 figures. As mentioned previously, it can literally print you money. It can literally print you money if you follow a proven system, right? Now, with paid ads, in terms of your expectation, you will see success fairly quickly within the first 7 to 14 days of your ads going live. Now, of course, some locations are going to be harder than others, but 99% of the time, you're going to start seeing new patients within a week or 2 coming through the door. But keep in mind, it may take a little bit longer if you're not in an affluent area, or if you're in an area where it's not, or if you're in a countryside area, you're going to get a lot less leads than somebody that's in a hotspot or city, right? There's pros and cons to both. Okay. Then once you've got your paid ads working, it really is just a matter of scaling up the amount you're spending on Facebook and Instagram to reach more people, get more leads, and in turn, make more money. I'll give you an example. So we had a clinic last month who spent $1,500 on ads and made back $10,000. Pretty good ROI, right? A return on investment. So from that point, it made sense for us to scale things up. So all we did was increase their ad budget to $3,000. And as a result of that, they then made $16,000 the next month. Now, of course, the more you spend, the more you should make. However, this doesn't work on a huge scale as the cost per lead will get more expensive the more we spend. So don't expect if you spend $1,000 and get 10K back to spend 100K and get like 10 million back. It's not how it works, right? And if you need help with Facebook ad creation and really setting them up and what it looks like on the back end, I made a YouTube video called How to Run Your Facebook Ads Without Paying a Marketing Agency. And the crazy thing about paid ads, which I've already mentioned a couple of times now, is it can literally print you money. I mean, take this case study as an example of a clinic partner that worked with us. And I'm showing you one that didn't even get that good results. They had 14 shows, 13 no-shows in the whole month, right? Which is dreadful. You know, the show rate was terrible, but because they had a dialed-in sales process and because we were attracting the right clients and running ads that positioned them as the authority, they made 30K. And they got a ROAS, which is a return on ad spend of 11.73x, which means they pretty much 12 times their investment on paid ads, okay? And another quick note to make here, which is super important, is make sure you have a strong follow-up system in place to chase down leads who opt in to learn more, but don't book right away. There's going to be a lot of those people that may put in their full name, phone number, and email, but don't fully commit to booking an appointment. Maybe they get distracted. Maybe they see you need to take a deposit and put the decision off because as humans, we don't like making decisions. All of these things can pop up, right? And the money is really in the follow-up. I'll give you an example here from one of our clinic partners who we have a dialed-in follow-up process built out for. So the lead came in and we said, hey, Melissa, thanks for signing up for our promotion. Schedule your appointment below, right? They didn't book. We then went in and said, hey, Melissa, I'm going to go ahead and get my assistant to call you. Our team called. Then the next day, another text. The next day, another text. The next day, another text. And then she responded on the fourth day. How long is the procedure? Also, how many sessions is included or needed? Our team responded and let her know how many treatments she was going to need. She didn't respond. An hour later, we said, Melissa, ? And then she put, when can I schedule an appointment? Are you guys open on Sundays? So you can see 4 to 5 days after she originally opted in, that is when she said she was interested and she wanted to book an appointment. Okay. This is why follow-up is so important, because when people opt in to hear more about your ad and your services, the reality is only 5 to 15% are actually going to book themselves in for an appointment. And that's if you have a deposit in place. It will be higher if you don't, but keep in mind, you still need follow-up, right? So lead nurturing is literally 80% of the game. And the best med spas are usually, they're pretty good at getting leads. That's the easy part. The hard part is nurturing those leads consistently. And what that concludes on is calling leads within 5 minutes, calling them every day, and following up consistently through 3 different channels. We pick email, SMS, and phone. Okay? And you shouldn't really care about anything but getting new people in the door so you can sell them your high-ticket services. And how do you do that? You do that by perfecting your lead nurturing process. And as well, a lot of the time, if you have a strong offer, the nurturing will do itself for you. So don't slack on this. But if you have a good offer and you have amazing ads and a good lead nurturing process, you're going to absolutely crush it, and it would be unreasonable for you not to succeed. Okay? And if you want to see what this system looks like as a high-level overview, because each system has its own microsystems, like the paid appointment machine is probably the most complex, and this is what it looks like. So you run lead gen ads on Facebook, you drive them through a sales funnel where people put in their phone number, their name, their email. I can show you an example of what that looks like now for one of our clinic partners where we're qualifying the leads with things like, what is bothering you about your body? How long has this been a concern? They go through that, and then at the end, they go ahead and put in their information. And then either they book a consult right away, and then you send them reminders, you book them in for a they take the consult, and then you sell them a high-ticket packages. But the problem is only 5 to 15% make it from sales funnel to consult. The other 85 to 95%, a lot of clinics will just leave them and class them as dead leads. when these are people that we want to see it as you need a bucket underneath the sales funnel to pick up all of the low-hanging fruit that fall down, that are going to be potentially losing you money if you don't. And that's where we use the lead follow-up to get them to book in consults. Because if we can just get out of this 95%, just 30% to book, you would make like 3 or 4x more money and book 3 to 4x more consultations, okay? And that wraps up the importance of the paid appointment machine. Now let's go ahead and get into organic content. Now our goal with organic content is to position you, as I like to call, the aesthetic authority. And what that allows you to do is have patients coming to you who already know you, like you, trust you, and see you as the go-to professional to buy your high-ticket services. And the reason we set this system up last is because it isn't something that you can run and make money from in a week. It's like planting a tree. As I mentioned, it takes a long time to compound, but it will change everything for you if you're willing to stay consistent. If you've heard of Dr. Tim Pierce, he did this exact thing. And do you really think somebody with 200,000 followers who's an influence in the space has to do discounts? No. The leads just come to you. They already know, like, and trust you before they even come through the door, so the sales resistance is completely removed. And this way, long term, you don't have to run cheap promotions in order to get clients through the door because the clients come directly to you, okay? And if you're too busy to post and edit videos, because I know a lot of clinic owners are, delegate it, right? The main thing is before you go crazy, just be consistent. All it really takes is 6 posts a week consistently, which maybe just 1 piece a day for 6 days a week. It's going to be way better than 30 videos in 1 week and then 0 the next. Consistency compounds over these random fluctuations where you have this burst of motivation to make 30 videos and you never make them again. In terms of the content you want to post, you can take a look at a bunch of examples such as Dr. Tim Pierce on Instagram, but you want educational content, client interviews, treatments in action, before and afters, question polls, even introductions to the team, things that are going to allow you to build trust and position you as the authority. Okay, and just to give you a real world example, it took me personally 8 months of consistently posting 6 times a week until I got my first organic client. It's a slow burner, but you get your best clients from it. They spend the most, they stay the longest, and they bring you the most referrals, okay? Now we've covered the foundations, the reactivation system, the paid appointment machine, and the organic attraction system. I want to go ahead and go into, now you've solved your patient acquisition problem and you're getting 5 to 15 new clients a week. How do we close consultations effectively? Because once we've got your calendar filled with appointments, our next step is then to dial in your sales process, which means you need to learn how to sell expensive stuff, right? So I want to dive into the framework that I discovered that's allowed us to grow tons of med spas to 6 and 7 figures. And it breaks down into this 6-letter abbreviation called CLOSER, CLOSER. Now, if you're wondering what CLOSER stands for, it means C for clarify why that person is in your chair. L, label them with a problem. O, overview their past pain. What have they tried before? S is sell them the vacation. Why are they even in the chair in the first place? What's their goals? E is explain away their concerns, handle objections. And then R is reinforce their decision. Now, reinforce their decision isn't a part of the initial sales process. It's done after the sale. So now you understand what this abbreviation stands for. I want to go in a little bit more detail as to what these look like and how we use them. Step number 1 in any consultation, once somebody comes through your door, is you need to clarify why they're there. And this is questions that sound like, what made you come into my clinic today? What made you sign up for our ad? What's your goal right now and why is that important to you? It's not enough to get somebody to say, oh, well, I just wanted more information. Or, well, I've got wrinkles and I want to get rid of them, right? If we're selling high ticket, we need to find the deeper reason. And the best way that I like to handle an objection like that, where they say, oh, I'm just coming to see if it's the right fit, or I want to collect some information, just say, oh, no, that totally makes sense. I'm sure you don't go around collecting information all day, right? So I guess what's the main reason that made you want to come in today? What's the reason behind you wanting to get rid of your wrinkles? Everybody has a deeper reason as to why they are there. So to give you an example of this, maybe somebody comes through your door for a saggy skin tightening treatment. for a skin tightening treatment for under the neck. They come through the door and they tell you they just want to see if it can help them. There's no explicit reason. They're just coming to collect more information. If you ask the right questions, which is what this framework pushes you to do, you'll find very quickly that there's always a deeper reason that people don't want to tell you. For example, it might be Jane that's coming in because she's got saggy skin under her neck and she's got a wedding coming up in 3 months and her ex-husband's going to be there and she wants to look good and she wants to look attractive in front of her ex-husband because she misses him and they haven't seen each other in 2 years and she wants to give the perception that she's doing really good. That would be a deeper reason as to why somebody would be in your chair. So you need to first off find out exactly why people are in front of you. Once you've understood that, you then want to just label them with a problem. And it's not enough for you to tell them they have a problem. You can't just say to them, oh, well, it's clearly the saggy skin under your neck. You need to get them to admit their own problem. Because by doing so, subconsciously in their mind, it makes them understand that they actually have a problem. People aren't going to listen to you if you directly tell them, here's your problem. You need to get them to open up about their own problem and admit it themselves. And the way you do that is by recapping what they said. So if they told you about their backstory, about how they've got a wedding coming up in the next 3 months, you'd be like, got it, Lisa, that totally makes sense. So you're saying to me you've got a wedding coming up in 3 months, and I guess you're really frustrated with the fact that you've got saggy skin under your neck, and you just don't know what to try in order to solve that, to tighten up your turkey neck, is that right? And you get them to say yes. So subconsciously, without them saying directly, I have this problem, they just labeled themselves with a problem, right? And this is where you want to go ahead as well and find out what their goal is. So you can then recap it to them. And once you've gone ahead and one, clarified why they're there, and then two, labeled them with a problem as to why they're there, you then want to go ahead and overview their past pain. So once you've gone ahead and got them to admit that they have a problem, you then need to overview their past pain. And this is where we dig deep and we get them sold emotionally into your treatments. And this is just you being genuinely interested in what they've tried and why they haven't got to their desired outcome or achieved the goal that they told you when you clarified why they were there. And you do this through questioning like, got it. So Lisa, I understand that your biggest problem is X, Y, and Z and your main goal is Z. I guess what have you tried so far to accomplish this? Oh, okay. So you tried lipo 3 years ago. And how did that go? How did that work for you? Oh, you didn't really get the result you were expecting? Why not? You see how you just go deep into their situation. And the moral of this whole section is you want to explain at the end of the questioning process how it's not their fault and they had 1 or 2 pieces missing from the equation. For example, if they tried lipo, you'd make it clear to them that maybe, okay, it sounds like just 1 or 2 pieces were missing from the equation. Maybe those missing pieces were they lost the weight with lipo, but they didn't have a sustainable diet and nutrition plan on the back end that was going to help them keep the weight off consistently so they gained it back after 2 to 3 months, right? That would be an example. And then you can add that within your program as a combination of weight, as a nutritional plan, a fitness plan, and a body sculpting package as well. That's something a couple of our clients do. So that's a prime example of how you can overview their past pain. Once you've overviewed their past pain and you understand exactly why they're there, what their goal is and what they've tried before, and bottom line, why they couldn't get there before, you then want to sell them the vacation. Now, just a quick note here. There's only 3 things that you ever have to say in a sales situation. Only 3 things. It's questions, restatements, and anecdotal stories to break beliefs. Questions, pretty self-explanatory, right? You get people to open up emotionally. That's exactly what we're doing here in this questioning process. Restatements is just recapping what they said so they feel understood. And then the third thing is anecdotal stories to break beliefs. An example of this that I use in my sales process is if I'm on the call with a clinic that's worked with an agency, I'll say to them, I mean, Lisa, I'm sure you've had it where a lead comes in and they're like super unqualified, right? Like you know absolutely nothing about them and they just want to know the price and they never end up buying your high ticket services. Yeah. So just to give you an example, let's say we book in Jane and instead of you having just a phone name and email, you know she's got a turkey neck, she's got a wedding coming up in 3 months and her ex-husband's going to be there and she wants to look sexy in front of her ex-husband so he knows what he's missing. You'd probably agree with me to say the chance of you closing that lead is going to be way higher, right? Because you already know a little bit more about them. Does that make sense? And that's an example of an anecdotal story. And you can put those in to break beliefs. The belief here would be that they didn't think about that as a potential solution. So it breaks that belief down. This isn't where you go on telling them about how amazing your treatment is, how expensive the machine was, how many 5-star reviews you have. You don't do that. You just simply ask them, would you like to hear how our treatment works? Maybe you go over a small pitch, which is 30 seconds to a minute, where you go over the 3 combined treatments. We've seen there are 3 combined treatments that get our clients to X outcome. And that X outcome would be aligned with the goal that they told you at the start of the consultation. Okay? Because remember, so many clinic owners sell like this. They think when somebody's going to the Bahamas, they buy the plane ride. Do you know of anybody that booked a vacation to the Bahamas that was excited to get on a plane with turbofan engines, main fuel tanks, spoiler and speed brakes, the main flap, the freight hold, the economy class cabin, the weather radar scanner? Nobody cares, right? They aren't buying in your terms, in your language, your expensive machine, if you're doing body sculpting, your weekly weigh-ins, your skin consultations, your meal plans. They're not buying into your friendly front desk team, your membership maintenance program. They're not buying any of these things, right? They're buying the end result. That's the only reason why somebody sat in your chair, because they have a problem and they believe that you might be able to solve it. And that's the only thing they care about. Because you're always selling the same thing. Of course, it's going to be different depending on what that prospect needs. You're always going to be selling the treatment, but you don't need to go into the details. The only difference is the level of service and how they want to get there. And I've drawn this 5-year-old drawing just to make sense of this all. So A is where the client is now. When they're in your chair, they have a problem. They're probably unhappy. B is where they're happy, right? This is their desired outcome. The reason they're sat in your chair is because they want to get to B, and they believe you may have a solution to help them get there. Now, if you see the arrow with the car, this is the vehicle that gets them from A to B, and that is your services, because there's different ways that they can get to the solution, right? For example, do you think people who want to go to the Bahamas want to swim? There are sharks, you could drown, you could get robbed, like this chick, right? Nobody wants to do that. Do they want to take a boat to the Bahamas? You know, it'll take a while, it'll be slow, they'll have no Wi-Fi, and they could, again, drown, same thing. And the point being here is people want to get to the vacation with the vehicle that has the highest perceived likelihood of achievement and the best dream outcome, while taking the less time and requiring the least effort and sacrifice. And you're in a very unique position because we all know that the other alternatives, such as liposuction, surgical facelift, there's downtime, it's more expensive, there's a lot more risk. All of those things can factor into the fact that there's more effort and sacrifice with other options, which is what makes your treatment so powerful. And it all comes down to selling the vacation rather than the plane ride. Once you've gone ahead and sold them the vacation, we then want to explain away their concerns. Now, there's 2 things you need to remember when selling ever. Number 1 is the stories you use to sell, the anecdotal stories that break beliefs, which we've just gone over. Number 2 is the objection overcomes. How do you handle certain objections? And you never want to get to this point where you're trying to sell someone something if they don't clarify why they need your solution in the first place. Just don't ask for the sale. There's no point. I know there's been a couple of times where our sales team has gone in, somebody said to them, oh, well, I'm just collecting information. And they've gone into talking about how we've helped 307 med spas and they've gone and asked for the sale. It doesn't work like that. The prospect doesn't care about you, your rep, your system. They only care about if you can help them. Everybody talks way too much about the products. You don't want to train you and your team on the products. The product is great on the back end for delivering the service. And if you truly believe in the treatments you offer, that isn't the problem here. What we want to do is instead train you and your team on the prospects. The best thing you could ever do is get a clear-cut understanding of the problems and the solution, the problems, the limiting beliefs, the worries, the doubts that go on in your prospect's mind. And this is where it ties back to explaining away their concerns. Because this is where you're going to get hit with objections like, oh, I need to talk to my partner, right? And this is why you'll go with something like, well, does your partner know why you're here? Probably they do. Then why wouldn't they approve of a problem you're both aware of? And another example of an objection that you might get is, if somebody stalls, they're like, can I go home and think about it, right? And this is where you ask the basic questions to loop round to, okay, why do you need to think about it? There must be a deeper reason, because there always is. I need to think about it as just a smokescreen to the deeper objection, the deeper meaning behind why they don't want to buy. And the only 3 reasons why people don't buy is because they don't like you, they don't believe in your solution, or it's too expensive, right? So you just ask them things like, does our treatment meet your needs? Do you want us to help you? Do you have access to funds or know someone else who does? And worst case scenario, if they really are set on going home and thinking about it, quote unquote, this is where you go ahead and delay the payment, take a card on file, make sure you get commitment there and then. It's human nature to delay making decisions. It's a lot easier to have life make the decisions for you, because then you can feel like the outcome isn't your fault. And this is why so many people delay big decisions and big commitments in their life. But again, so it's so important to make sure that you have this down to a T and you understand the common objections that you're going to face. And then the final letter here is reinforcing their decision. You've already collected the card, you've taken the payment. This is after the sale was made or you've taken the initial payment. But I want you to know that the sale never stops. People decide within the first 48 hours from the point of sale whether they'll buy from you again or not. And I want you to use that to your advantage. This is where when somebody signs up, you send them a handwritten card. You give them access to a private skin or body community where people hold each other accountable. Maybe you even get a personalized video from the whole team emailed to them saying how grateful you are that they sign up for the program. And the magic key here, the key to the whole thing that we've got over here in this free Medspa growth guide, is setting more appointments, because volume really does negate luck. Because more appointments equals more sales, which means you become a better closer, which means you dial in your sales process, which gives you more money and a better ability to invest into people, acquisition, and then scale. And this just goes back to Saka, set appointments, close appointments, because appointments solve every other problem in the business. And this is why acquisition should be your main focus if you're not at 100K a month yet. So look, I know that was a whole lot of information for you to take in. That wraps up the how to grow your Medspa in 2024 guide. And I really hope it helped you and it allowed you to smash your revenue goals in 2024. And if you liked everything that we talked about in this video, the systems, the follow-up, the sales training, and you want everything we've talked about done for you, so you don't need to worry about it, just want to let you know you can book a call with me in the description. You don't have to. Don't feel obliged. Take everything. And if you feel like you want us to do it, go ahead and book a call. Thank you.